Hey, OKBHealthy pals. Trying to go live. Let's see if it works this time. Say a little prayer. This is the third attempt to go live. It keeps dropping me. So hopefully we have a strong enough signal. And apologies, I'm late. I've been trying the best I could to connect. So let me go on my computer here too and see if I'm on. I see someone. I see Peggy. Hi, Peggy. Welcome to our Q&A right away Wednesday right away Q&A. And yes, looks like we are live. Looks like it's working. So can everyone hear me all right? Now, if you'd like to leave a comment, the trick is you have to be following this page to leave a comment. So someone emailed me the other day and they said, I can't comment. And I said, are you following the page? And they said, oh no. I said, well, you have to be. That's one of the prerequisites to leave a comment is you have to be following the page. So if you're trying to leave a comment and you can't, that's what's happening. So hi, Lyle. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Peggy again. Thank you for refreshing and being here and being patient. I'm excited to answer some questions today. Donna says it's working. I'm excited to answer your questions today, whatever they might be. It's always a surprise what you have for me. So if you have questions, go ahead and let them rip. Go for it. I'm going to go to some old ones here and I can answer those while we're waiting for some new ones to come in. Hi, Risa. Hi, Cindy. Good morning. Okay. Elaine was asking me suggestions on how to navigate the time change every 6 months. Good practices to keep body rhythm with sleep, etc. I'm assuming she means she's probably traveling a lot and she's in a different time zone every 6 months, perhaps. And with that, I would suggest there's something called, hold on. I just learned about it. That's why it's not in my brain yet. Suprachiasmatic nucleus. And it is responsible for being the manager of the brain as far as your circadian rhythm and time management. And so it takes about 1 day for it to readjust an hour. So for example, if you're going, to somewhere 8 hours ahead or 8 hours behind your normal time zone, what you're used to, it's going to take you about 8 days to readjust. So 1 day is about 1 hour. So do the best you can depending on which way you're going. Obviously, don't take a nap at 4 o'clock in the evening. Push yourself as long as you can to go to bed by 7, and things like that. That's the best thing I've learned when I was traveling was to keep myself awake or take an early quick nap in the early morning. Also get grounded, get outside, get fresh air, get the sunshine. And so those are some things to help you. Make sure you just keep eating healthy and drinking plenty of water. And basically it takes some time to readjust. And jet lag is a thing. I've heard people say, oh, I never get jet lag. That's not true. It affects our bodies. And there is something there. So that's a little bit to help you there. Good morning, everyone. Wednesday Q&A right away. Q&A right away. So if you have a question, you can ask me. Yeah, Donna said, I think she means daylight savings time. I thought that too, but I don't know. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'm so used to traveling. With daylight savings time is really easy. It just should take you a day to get into it, right? If it's just an hour. With daylight savings time, I actually enjoy the difference, kind of just pushing my body to have to change up a little bit. Okay, got to go to bed a little bit earlier. It takes some adjustment, it takes some getting used to, but get to bed early if you need to, get to bed, get up on time if you need to. Yeah. So same things can apply as to jet lag, as to time changing. And you have to be proactive, right? You have to say, okay, wow, tomorrow it's going to feel like I'm getting up at this time to go to the gym when usually I felt like it was this time at the gym. And so you've got to be proactive in being a little bit ahead of yourself and to plan accordingly so get to bed early, etc., or whatever it might be. Okay. Okay, here we go. Kelly says, hey, I've had a really confusing blood result. High cholesterol and triglycerides, and I eat really healthy. Also kidney filtration what herbs. So, you know, your blood work can change every hour. And in fact, if you had the same blood taken and taken to many different labs, they would all test differently. Did you know that? It is true. Sometimes your results are actually false and they're not even true whatsoever. You've probably had people's doctor's offices call you before, hey, can you come back? We need to retest your blood or whatever it might be. So, okay, then she said, sorry, what herbs help kidneys? I don't drink at all, don't smoke or eat vegetables. Okay, so back to your first question. And depending on how high is high, you know, they keep lowering the cholesterol levels of what they think is high, so it keeps getting lower and lower. I had a gentleman come in with a level of 119. That is really low in my opinion. And they still wanted to keep him on his cholesterol lowering medications. His muscles were starting to atrophy. He could not move his muscles. He walked into the store stiff as a board. And he said, I can't move. I can't move. They won't listen. I'm taking too much of this, I think. I think I need to stop. And I said, I think you're right. And I told him about the books. There's, you know, The Great Cholesterol Con. There's The Great Cholesterol Myth. There's Lipitor, Thief of Memory. These are all wonderful books on cholesterol, also on statin drugs, the dangers of them. To give you guys some knowledge. Knowledge is a power. When you know how the body works and what you need to give the body in order for it to work optimally. And when you read other people's testimonies and how they've overcome similar situations, there's so much truth and there's so much reassurance and so much trust in that. Rather than, oh, you need to do this or else this is going to happen. Sometimes we're always just fed fear. And if you go to healthcare, unfortunately, they like to use fear a lot to motivate you to do what they want you to do and take what they want you to take. So it really depends on your levels. It also depends on like what you ate the day before. You know, a lot of people just load up on coffee and they don't drink enough water. So a lot of things can actually alter your blood work levels. Personally, I don't do tests. I don't get my blood checked. I couldn't tell you what it is. Don't care. I drink water. I eat my greens. I exercise. I feel great. I feel fantastic. I can think clearly. I love getting up early, going to the gym, working out. I love being here alive Wednesday, Fridays. So, you know, it's just, it depends on how you want to approach your health. But to me, I look at it more as what can you do naturally to help support your blood, and what can you do to reduce the dangers that you could be putting in your body. And that's lots of chemicals, right? There's lots of chemicals. Are you wearing synthetic clothing? Synthetic clothing is constantly touching the body and is full of chemicals. This gets into the bloodstream, guys. This takes a toll on the body over years because you wear clothes almost your whole life, right? Especially if you're wearing pajamas that are synthetic, clothing that's synthetic. Unless you're sleeping naked, then you get about a third of your life without synthetic clothing. But then what are your sheets made of, right? That's where you got to also think, is it synthetic too? Because then you're not really getting away from it. What are your towels made of when you get out of the shower? So you want to use natural fabrics, cotton, linen, viscose, bamboo, hemp. These are some wonderful, more common, more popular to find fabrics. The best way to start changing your wardrobe is to change it slowly. If you need a new shirt, then you go to the store and you are tough on yourself and you say, I'm not going to get anything unless it's organic and natural. It doesn't have to be organic. You can wash it. But I'm only going to purchase things from now on that are healthy for my skin and natural. So don't fall for the polyester, nylon, or acrylic plastic garbage shirt, even though it's pretty and is exactly what you want and fits you just right. It's not actually what you need. So purchase things that you need for your body, for your health. So watch the chemicals. What are you washing your dishes in? What are you washing your laundry in? What's your laundry detergents like? What are, your cleaning products like? These are things that will take its toll on you as well. So if you're spraying things like Windex on the window every day and you're breathing that in, these are things you got to think about, guys, and start using more natural products. What are you exposed to every day? Make sure it's healthy. Plastics in the food. Your food is important. Make sure you're eating organic and natural. Make sure you're not eating anything that is synthetic, chemical filled, food dye filled. rancid oil filled, toxic fat filled. There are such things as good fats. Good fats are good for you and we need them. We need good fat, good fiber, good protein, but we don't need genetically modified foods. We don't need bioengineered foods. We don't need food dyes. We don't need chemicals in the food. And so these are things to be aware of. Now, there's also some wonderful herbs that help with the blood and keep the body healthy and the blood healthy. The blood loves water. The blood is primarily water, so make sure you're drinking plenty of water. The blood needs minerals. The blood loves bringing and delivering minerals throughout the body, so make sure you're eating plenty of minerals, eating plenty of vitamins and nutrient-dense foods through your food, right? Your fruits and your vegetables are one area that you can get a lot of greatness in. Make sure your foods are organic as much as possible. There's a great website. It's called ewg.org. And you can go there and you can see their clean 15 and their dirty dozen. And this is produce and such that is marked the most toxic if it's not organic, and the cleanest if it's not organic. So you can go there and you can see the clean 15 and the dirty dozen. So you know, like for example, kale and strawberries are some of the worst you can buy that are non-organic, sprayed heavily. So be careful of what you're purchasing. If it's not organic, make sure you can take that little sheet with you. You have this little printout on their website. You can take that with you and you can find what's clean, what's dirty while you're shopping. Frozen fruit and vegetables are a great way to go. It's affordable, and you can find organics really well there. You know, cans, you know, I have some cans in my cupboard for those really, you know, busy days, or the musts, or last minute kind of things. I do have that kind of stuff, no power, etc., like that. I have some things like that, but really my go-to is frozen vegetables. That's what I really like to do. So those are some things. Of course, your hawthorn berry is great for the heart, your garlic, your ginger, your turmeric, cayenne pepper is fantastic for the heart, exercise, water, salt. So those are some things that can help you. Good flaxseed oils, good, what else? Selenium recycles your antioxidants. So make sure you're eating a very rich antioxidant diet, okay? Now, I know I kind of got stuck on that one. So I just wanted to make sure that I answered all of that question, and then I'll get to the next one. Okay, so what helps, what herbs are good for the kidneys? Yeah, there's some really great kidneys, and actually it's interesting you said that. I'm gonna make a tea blend for a gentleman who's in renal failure, and some of the herbs that I've been studying, isn't God good? He always does this. I'll be studying something and someone will come in and ask me about it, and then someone on my live will ask me about it. He's so good to us, guys. We have to obey. We have to obey what he asks us to do because it's important for other people. So I've been studying on couch grass, couchgrass, couch grass. So it smells like couch grass. It actually grows wild in America, a lot of places, and I've seen it in other countries too. It's kind of the grass that, look up a picture, it's kind of the grass that's underneath the tall grass. It's the one that kind of spreads under. It's the kind that drives my husband nuts and crazy. He hates it. But it's actually the kind that's really good for your kidneys. So that's one thing that I suggest is that. And you can take it in a tea form, you can take it in a supplement form, and you can take it in a liquid form. There's also something called, I'm looking because I have my stack of kidney herbs right over there on the chair. Celery leaf is very good for the kidneys as well. Also great to drink fresh celery juice. You could drink fresh celery juice. You can add more celery salt, as long as it's a good celery salt to your meals. And you have to be easy when you have kidney issues on the salt intake, but a little is necessary, not too much. You have to be really mindful. You know, juicing the celery, and juice the whole thing. Cut the dirty root part off, but you juice the whole thing, all the leaves. Make sure you wash, and it's organic, and you juice that. There's parsley. Parsley's wonderful for the kidneys. Dandelion root, milk thistle. Demanos is good if you have a kidney infection or even a bladder infection, because the bladder, you know, affects the kidneys in a, the ureters, yeah. It travels up the ureters and it affects your kidneys through bladder infection, and Dimanos is really good for that. Obviously your cranberries. So those are some things you can look at to support the kidneys. Also make sure your kidneys are staying warm. Make sure you're doing all the right things. Do not drink coffee. Coffee is an enemy to the body. No one should drink coffee. It should be banned. It should be illegal. It should not be allowed for the dangers it does to people's bodies and to children, to diabetics, to female health. I could go on and on and on. Don't be mad at me. Hopefully you still stay. If you're drinking a cup of coffee, that's all right. I used to drink coffee all the time too until I really started to loathe it when I learned how much what it does to the body. So, so no judgment. I used to drink coffee all the time, and I wish I could tell you to drink coffee and it's good for you. But guess what, guys? I'm not going to lie to you. It's not good. Stay away. Jen McKnight said, morning, my son dropped something on his big toe at work yesterday. It was heavy and is swollen and with so much blood trapped underneath. Poor kid is in pain but doesn't think it's broken. What can I do to help with the pain? He doesn't have insurance, so wondering if there's a natural remedy to help. I'm laughing right now because I am dealing with the same thing on my big toe. Once again, God is good. Not that we dropped something on our toe, but that we can actually praise him in all things. And so anyways, I'm dealing with the same thing. I actually dropped a luggage on my toe in September. It hurt like the dickens. And then it seemed to just, everything was fine. It didn't turn black. I thought that was interesting. Okay. Well, maybe like a week later, I woke up with an excruciating pain. My toe was on fire. It hurt so bad. I looked at my toe, it was bright red. I'm thinking, what is happening? Nothing bit it. I didn't have like a bug bite on there or anything. So I thought this isn't good. So I didn't have anything. I was at the hotel. So I had hot water and I had ice. So I did hydrotherapy. And that took care of the pain and the swelling. And now I'm dealing with it again. I just woke up a few nights ago and my same toe is starting to kind of turn a color, and it's bright red, it's hurting, and it's painful. So here's what I've been doing just the last few days. And so this is gonna help him, and you won't have to go to the doctor. You'll be okay. You can stay home and you can do this natural remedy at home. So anyone who's dealing with an ingrown toenail, which my son Joel is, so you should see our kitchen every night. We got like a hydrotherapy hospital happening, natural hospital happening in our kitchen. The cats are super excited because they love playing in water. So they got the hot water they're playing in and in the ice water. Anyways, besides the point. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna do hydrotherapy on the toe, and you can do this 5 times a day if it feels great. Usually 1 time a day is plenty. I've been doing it at night because at night is when, standing all day long, my toe is super inflamed. My son Joel's toe is super inflamed. Mine, again, was from dropping something on it. His was actually hitting it really hard. The whole toenail fell off, and now we're trying to regrow the toe. This has been a 2-year process for him, but he hasn't been consistent. So we're gonna talk about that too. But we're slow, so we're both working something. He's working an ingrown toenail right now, and I'm working dropping something on the foot. So the first thing to do is hydrotherapy. You need a bowl of hot water, and you need a bowl of ice cold water. You're gonna put the toe or the whole foot in the hot water for 3 minutes. Have your timer next to you. Now, you want the water hot enough where you feel it. Your whole foot starts to tingle and kind of feel numb. Never do this if you have neuropathy, please. Don't do this if you have neuropathy. You won't be able to feel and you can injure yourself. So only do this if you can feel the foot. So you do that for about 3 minutes. You make sure it's hot. Don't burn yourself. You don't want it scalding hot where you're burning yourself. Use common sense, please. Don't hurt yourself. So 3 minutes hot water and then 30 seconds ice cold water. You should have ice cubes in the water, okay? It actually feels good. I love the cold. The cold one is my favorite. I love the hydrotherapy. It works every time. I love it. It's so great. It used to be very common in the nursing era in the 1700s, 1800s, early 1900s. Now it's not really talked about anymore, but water is healing. Hydrotherapy is healing. They used to have huge sanitariums just for water therapies. People would come all over the world to use water for their healing, and it's so cool. So, but you can do it right in your kitchen. So you can even get a tub from a store, a big tub, plastic tub, if you don't want to use your dishes, and use that too. Okay, so you do that for a cycle of 3. Make sure you have a hot kettle nearby because sometimes the hot tap water in the sink is not hot enough. So you might need to add it hot enough. If you're doing this on someone, always assist them by taking their foot in your hand, putting your hand in the water first, So you're feeling it as they're feeling it. You're also making eye contact with them and make sure that they're comfortable with what you're doing. Does it feel okay? Are you hurting? Especially if it's your kiddos or your husband. You want them to trust you. Always smile. Help them put the foot in. Is it feeling good? Great. Now I've taught my kids how to do it, so now they can do it on their own, but I used to do it for them at first. Sometimes they like it when I do it anyway. Okay, so 3 minutes hot. You're gonna need ice on standby for 30 seconds cold for a cycle of 3. Wow, you're gonna have amazing relief. And you're going to do this 1 to 5 times a day. You can do it as many times a day as you want, at least once a day. Your body has memory, your cells have memory. The more you do it consecutively, the faster the healing, the quicker the healing, the greater the healing will be. So the water is not powerful. I'm not powerful. It's the body that is powerful because God made it to do the things that it can do, because God is powerful and he's really smart and he designed our body to heal itself. So that's why you should do hydrotherapy. And the next thing I would do is immediately do a potato poultice on his toe, which I have a poultice on my toe now, but I'm not going to just whip off my shoe and show you guys. That might scare a lot of you. But if you do join my subscriber page, I do post all this stuff on there. So if you want a little bit TMI, and I call TMI to tell me information. There's no such thing as too much information, but tell me information. If you want more personal information, you can jump over and subscribe to that page, subscriber page for our OKBHealthy VIPs. I call them VIPs. Very important pal subscribers. Just came to me yesterday. Okay, so after you do that, you're gonna do the potato poultice. You're gonna shred the potato. You want an organic potato. Don't mess around with non-organic potatoes. That has a lot of nasty chemicals on it. So you're gonna get a piece of cloth. Your cloth can be, I was looking for something around here, but I don't have anything. Your cloth can be like this, one of those squares, one of those granny squares. And you're going to just fold it a couple times, maybe like a accordion. You're going to fold it like a little accordion, and you're going to shred potato. Actually, sorry, no, not the accordion. That's for castor oil. I'm doing also castor oil, so scratch that. You want a thin piece, about the size of that, of a cotton piece of old t-shirt, a cheesecloth, something thin, and you're going to cut it into a square. You're going to shred potato in the middle of that square. So boys call it a hash brown poultice. So you're going to shred that potato and get about, I don't know, about 2 tablespoons worth, depends on how big the toe is, enough to cover the circumference of the toe. And you're going to put it in the center of the cloth, and you're going to fold it north, south, west, east, and you're going to fold it so it's a little cute little package, and all the potatoes inside and nothing spilling out the sides, and it's all in the center of your cloth. I hope this makes sense to you guys. I'm trying to describe it as much as possible, as clearly as possible. So you have a little package, and you're going to put that then on a piece of plastic. Your plastic can be any kind of plastic wrap, saran wrap. They make plant-based or saran wrap now. You can even use parchment paper or wax paper if you don't want plastic. And you cut that a little bit bigger than the actual poultice you just made. So it needs to be a little bit bigger than that. So your poultice is going to go inside, and then on the outside is going to be the plastic wrap. Okay? Then you're going to put that on the toe. The potato poultice is going to touch the toe. So it should be cloth with the potato pulse in the center with your wrap around it. Okay? Hopefully I'm not confusing you. But you would do that, and then you bandage it on. I have some basically just some athletic tape that's like a cloth tape that doesn't hurt, that easy can come off. And then you do a potato poultice. I would do a potato poultice for 12 hours. Do it at night or do it during the day. Nighttime's the best. So hydrotherapy, potato poultice, wear it all night long, take it off. Never use a fresh poultice unless it's aloe more than 12 hours. If it's aloe, you want to leave it for 24 because it's regenerating a new skin. It's basically performing a skin graft because God is so brilliant like that. And you don't want to change it too much or you're going to wreck the new skin layer. So about every 24 hours on aloe, but everything else 12 hours. So your potato poultice is on there for 12 hours. Look at the toe in the morning. You should find that you have much relief. You shouldn't have much pain. If you do, then repeat the process again with the hydrotherapy. But I do want you doing the hydrotherapy every day. It's good for the toe while you're healing it, encouraging it to grow. Potato poultice as needed for the pain and for the swelling and the inflammation and the redness. But the hydrotherapy is going to be the best thing you can do. You can also then do a cloth the same way as like an accordion, and then put castor oil on that to keep it lubricated up if you want, but not really necessary with the kind of damage that he did. If you find the toenail starts getting infected, then definitely do the castor oil and alternate between olive leaf extract, oregano extract, essential oil, tea tree, if you find that it's starting to look fungal as it's growing out. So you kind of have to adjust with what it could be turning into. If it starts to turn into, the toenail's probably going to fall off. So let it do it naturally. Don't pull it, don't pick at it, don't cut it weird. Don't, just let the body do it. Just hands off, let the body do it. The body knows what it's doing. We just assist it with what it needs. We're our body's assistant. How can I help you? And the herbs are here to service us. So it's a great thing. And then just trying to give you all the steps. If the toe does fall off, then still do hydrotherapy every day. The hydrotherapy is going to help that new toenail come in nice and easy, and will keep swelling, inflammation, infection down. So that's kind of like what me and Joel are battling right now. But yes, poor kid, it is not fun when you have something like that happen to your big toe or any of your toes or any of your fingers. It's not fun. So wow, we have so many wonderful people logging on here. We have Darlene from Las Vegas. She's been watching. Stephanie says, I bought the Lipitor book for my dad and he thanked me and got off of it, back on vitamins. His levels are low and he lost weight. Did you guys hear that? I had chills. Can you see my chills? Wow. So she got her dad the book, Lipitor Thief of Memory by Dr. Dwayne Graveline. He read it. He's back on his vitamins, and I'm assuming eating well, taking better care of his body. His levels are lower, and he lost weight. That is beautiful. God is so good. Thank you, Father in heaven. Wow. Okay. I'm curious to see if he's starting to have some of his memory return, if he had dementia or Alzheimer's or any kind of memory issues. Okay. Venencia, I don't know, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Hi, I have bronchitis and always have a cough. What do you recommend for me? Maybe bronchitis is bronchitis. I have to look this word up. Sometimes they are words and I don't even know. So I always have to, I'm going to look this word up. But let's talk about lung health as I'm looking up this word. The best things I have found, because my twins were premature, I didn't know a lot of the things I know now about natural remedies and natural ways of healing. Even when I was pregnant, I didn't know the things that I know now. And so my babies were born premature, my twins. They're not babies anymore, they're almost 18, but at 32 weeks. And I noticed, okay, so it is a thing. It's a chronic lung condition where the airways become damaged and winded, making it difficult to clear mucus. This can lead to frequent infections and a persistent cough that produces mucus. So anytime with that, you always want to look at your history. Ask yourself, what am I eating? Am I eating any of the 5 food allergens that can cause my eustachian tubes to be irritated and inflamed and more mucousy? Okay, those foods are refined sugar, hybridized wheat, you have dairy, oats, and peanuts. And I also tell people avoid all food dye, avoid all fast food, avoid all chemicals, avoid all bioengineered, biochemical, nuclear waste food. And also watch out for caffeine. So these are things that can irritate the body, but especially the bronchial system, the eustachian tubes, the respiratory system. Dairy is a big culprit, and hybridized wheat. So remove those things out of the diet. I'm not saying you can't ever have it, but just take it out for about 3 months and then maybe add raw dairy back in and see what happens. If everything's going well, then maybe add some sourdough, ancient grain bread. And if that's going well, then you can handle in moderation the raw cheeses and the ancient grain wheat. But there's no place in our body for hormone antibiotic packed dairy or hybridized toxic wheat that our body cannot decipher the molecular structure and build from. So avoid those foods as much as possible. There's no room in the body for those things. There's no room in the body for food dye or toxic, sludgy waste that they're putting in our food. So anyways, back to the twins. So as they were getting older, I noticed that those things would irritate them as well. So I just made sure to be really careful about their diet. I was careful about the air quality. So I made sure I had a good air purifier in their room, a dehumidifier needed if we needed one in the summer, and a humidifier maybe in the winter, depending on where we were living. Okay, in Alaska, right, is different than Hawaii. In Korea, these are all places we lived. It was much different than Oklahoma. So it just depended on where we lived, but you have to be aware of your surroundings. Make sure you're not around mold. Do not go in a room with mold. Do not be in a home with mold. Remove mold out of the body. So a little bit of history is needed. So you'll need to ask yourself these questions and find out, am I susceptible to any of this? And then remove yourself from that. And then start healing. If it is mold, there's a whole Candida mold protocol you can follow. I don't have time to go into it today, but the best thing is to do that. Get fresh air. There's pure air filters, which I really love. It's called PURE, pure. And I have one in every room of the house. They're expensive, but they really work great. And I just started with one, and then when I could afford another one, I'd get another one, and I'd get another one and another one. So I think we have about 5 now because they're kind of pricey. Sometimes you can find them on sale. So I have those. That's PURE, I believe, pure, or PUR. No, I think it's PURE, air filter. And then herbs that I really love that I've used now with the boys as they got older to help them were mullein. Mullein is my favorite. It definitely made me a believer in herbs. There's a few herbs that really changed my perspective, and like, wow, just super thankful to the Father, our Heavenly Father, God, for making such wonderful herbs. So mullein, plantain is good. Peppermint can be good and eucalyptus can be good, but for some people it can also be very irritating. So know your body. If you know menthol irritates you, stay away. My son Joel has made a chest comfort salve, which is infused with mullein and plantain and menthol and some other wonderful things for the chest to topically apply. But you can also take that internally. I am waiting on a few extra herbs for our cough syrup. We're making an organic OKBHealthy cough syrup, and that should be out hopefully next week. And that will be infused with a whole bunch of organic herbs to help people with their coughs. But mullein is good, plantain is good, peppermint is good, elecampane is good, bone set is good, astragalus is good, marshmallow root is really good because marshmallow is kind of like an emollient, so it helps like that mucilage kind of help. If I had that issue, I'd also probably take slippery elm. I would drink a teaspoon of slippery elm and about a cup of warm water, maybe a little bit of manuka honey, mix that, and I would drink that, and I would help coat, soothe, and line my whole chest, eustachian tube. That could be helpful to your lungs and to your chest to kind of feel good. Getting in a hot shower with, some eucalyptus or some peppermint. Once again, you have to be careful of the mint family if it could irritate you. So those are some things you can look at doing. There's also mullein in capsules, mullein in tinctures. We make all the tinctures for those things too. Mullein is my go-to though. I love it. It grows wild all over Oklahoma. I've seen it growing wild in Serbia, and where else did I see it growing wild? I can't really recall too much, but I know I've seen it. I know it's all over in Oklahoma. It's beautiful. Check it out. See what it looks like. Plant it in your survival garden, your herb garden. Okay, let's see here. So we can talk about the thyroid. There's a couple questions about iron. There's a couple questions about thyroid. So let's talk about thyroid health. What to do for thyroid health. The best thing to do is, number one, manage your hormones. Make sure you're using wild yam cream, because wild yam cream balances your hormones. And we make an excellent one without any carcinogens. Carcinogen is something that can cause cancer. So we're very careful with what preservative we use or don't use in our wild yam cream. We use very clean ingredients, and our whipped wild yam cream comes in many different varieties. We have mild, we have regular, we have plus, we have extreme men, we have extreme women. So there's different ones with different herbs and different, ways to help we're all different. We all have different hormonal imbalances. But one thing is for sure, the wild yam is a great herb that God gave us to help us balance our hormones. And you'll find that herb in every single one of our wild yam creams. When you have too much estrogen opposes your thyroid function. And so that is one first and foremost thing that everyone should look at when they're questioning if something's off with their thyroid, which doctors don't do. They don't ask you what your hormone levels are when you're having thyroid issues. They go straight to, might need to take it out, or let's get you on medication. But first and foremost, you need to balance your hormones by using the wild yam cream. You can apply that twice a day, ladies, 3 weeks on, 1 week off. You alternate the place of application. You can apply it into the inner wrist, the inner arm. You could do the chest, you can do the stomach, you can do the neck, you can do the face, inner thigh, back of the knees, the feet. And you always are alternating. You do that for 3 weeks on and 1 week off. 1 week off is during the period week. For gentlemen, because they have the same issues. Men are having thyroid problems, testosterone problems, high estrogen as well, and not sleeping well, inflammation, all the things. Menopause is real. And they can also use a wild yam cream, and they apply it twice a day, and they don't take a break. So always twice a day. Sometimes it takes about a year to get your hormones balanced. Some people feel great on it. They don't ever want to stop it, which is fine. It's not going to hurt you. It's just a plant. And there has not been anything to show that it's harmful to the body. In fact, it just there's so many good things. It stimulates osteoclast and osteoblast cells to be stimulated through the body, which is your bone growth, your helpful bone builders and your bone repairers. Those cells that do that. Progesterone is needed for that. And so what it does is it stimulates your body's own progesterone again. Progesterone is your mother hormone. So when you have mother hormone in charge, things run smoothly. And I'm sure any women can know if we've ever been gone for about a week and dad's in charge. Now, I love dads and I think dads are amazing. Men are amazing. They're needed. They're important. I am in no way belittling our men. I love our men, but sometimes they just don't run a ship like moms do. So you might come home and maybe the laundry's not done yet, or maybe the dishes, aren't put away the way you would do it, or maybe the kids have been taking a little extra time for video games that week, and little things like this. So mama comes back in and says, "Okay, time to reset and get back to our structure and our organization," and that's what progesterone does. And progesterone is actually mother hormone in everybody's body, man, woman, child. So I would definitely get on the wild yam cream for balancing your hormones, number one, because once again, high estrogen opposes thyroid function. How are we getting high estrogen? Well, if you've been on the synthetic pill, if you're on birth control, if you eat, garbage meat that is just who knows from what, where, when, why, and how, that's got a lot of usually antibiotics and hormones and all kinds of things in it. And when you eat that, it can cause havoc in your body too. Through chemicals, right? We talked about clothing a little bit in the beginning of this live. So clothing is important. What's touching your body can leach in minerals, leach in material, chemical material that you don't need, right? So those synthetic chemicals, the xenoestrogens, they're these monster estrogens that can just barge into your cell receptors for your hormone balancing on your cells. They just barge in, and you don't want that to happen. You want the way God designed it. So balance the hormones. That's the first thing I always talk to people when they're asking about thyroid, is balancing your hormones. Priority number one. If you have any kind of little lumps or cysts or anything on the thyroid, definitely wear a castor oil compress over the lymph nodes or the nodules or the goiter. Keep a castor oil compress on that 24/7. I don't care what anybody would say or think of me for wearing something around my neck 24/7. I've got one on my toe 24/7 until I get this fixed, and I'm doing hydrotherapy. You know what I mean? Obviously people can't see my toe, and I'm thankful I'm wearing boots and it's not sandal weather. So, right? And everything, give thanks. I'm thankful that it's not all my toes. I'm thankful that it's not summertime and I can wear boots and cover it up. So there's some wonderful things to always be thankful for in every situation. Just always give it to God. I'm reading The Hiding Place right now by Corrie ten Boom. I'm reading like 5 books at a time always, but I read this when I was 8 years old. I'm reading it again, and I just, wow, to be in a concentration camp and to find things to be thankful for as fleas and ticks, not ticks, as fleas. I live in Oklahoma, so everything has ticks. Fleas and lice everywhere, and to find the thankfulness in that. And her sister Betsy were thankful for the lice and the fleas, not initially, but they gave thanks about it. And not Corrie, but her sister did. She's like, now Corrie, we have to be thankful. And so she was thankful, even though she didn't want to be thankful for the lice and the fleas. How could anybody be thankful for these things, she would say. But it turned out that in the concentration camp, they had smuggled a Bible, and they were able to give every morning and every evening, they were able to read their Bibles and have little Bible studies, because the security guards, the German soldiers, would not go into their barracks with all the lice and the fleas. And so they could praise the Lord. They brought so many people to the Lord, and because of that. So she'll talk about that in her thing. And anyway, so in everything, give thanks. Got a little off tangent, back to the thyroid, but that's a really great story. It's important to reflect on these things and be thankful in all things and give thanks in all things. And also be thankful for what we have, you know? Okay, so back to the thyroid. You want to balance your hormones. If you have a goiter or any nodules or cysts, you use castor oil compresses. If you have a hypothyroid, which means it's slow, you need to activate it by putting cayenne pepper on that castor oil compress. And you can wear that 1 to 4 hours. I would do it in the morning, so that way you're stimulating your thyroid to kickstart and to start working. And maybe 1 to 4 hours is good. So you'll start to feel it tingle. Not only do you feel it tingle, but you're feeling, you get the castor oil working in there too. And the castor oil can help deliver it. I'd also take cayenne pepper every day as well. 1 to 3 capsules, 1 to 3 times a day before every meal if you get nauseous on them. You can take them on an empty stomach, but some people like to have some food with it. You can also use it in a powder form, 1/4 to 1 teaspoon in 1 to 3 ounces of water, 1 to 3 times a day. Just mix it up and chuck it back, and it's a cayenne pepper shot. And you can do that also before a meal, before a workout. It's a great pre-workout. Gets the blood moving and helps stimulate blood. So that's something you can look at too for the thyroid if you have a hypothyroid. Hyperthyroid, ice. About 10 seconds on with an ice pack. Take it off until you start to feel it warm. Once it gets warm again, put the ice pack back on. And you're doing hydrotherapy for the throat with an ice pack. Okay, this is going to help to stimulate new blood. That's what hydrotherapy is for. It's bringing new blood. Leviticus 17:11, the life of the flesh is in the blood. Where we have life, where we have blood, we have life. Right? When our blood stops, we stop. So we don't want to keep the blood. We don't want the blood to be stagnant. Have you ever seen a stagnant pond? Gross. You want that pond to be moving and to be fresh, to aerate, to be healthy. So that's the same with our blood, and our body is the pond. We want to make sure our body is healthy and moving fresh blood. So that's what the hydrotherapy is really good for. Be mindful, there's certain vegetables and fruits you want to avoid when you have certain thyroid ailments, so look into that. And there's certain things you want to eat when you have certain thyroid ailments. So look into that, dig more deep for yourself on the thyroid category. Iodine, and this answers another question from yesterday. How do you apply the iodine? You want to take iodine topically, transdermally to the skin is fine. You would put 1 drop on your arm, and it comes in a little glass dropper bottle. We sell a solution, an iodine solution, and you put 1 drop on the skin. Now this is what I do. I take that same dropper bottle, the glass, and I'll take that drop and I'll just smear it in. That way I'm not waiting for this 1 drop to just like slowly drop down my arm or sit there for like an hour. I don't have that. So what I do is I put the drop, and then I take the dropper and I help just smear it in, spread it in. Okay, so hope that helps you when you're applying your iodine. Kind of a little bit of an easy way to apply that, so you're not waiting. And then I kind of usually blow on it, let it dry, and then I can pull my sleeve back down. But yes, iodine every day, topically to the skin, and observe it. If you notice it, just the iodine spot is gone within a few hours, you know you need it every day. Your body's drinking it up. If it sits there for a long time, then you know you could probably do it maybe every other day, every third day. And use common sense. If you take a shower and you scrub your arm and it's gone, hello, you know. But if you know that it's just been left alone, it's a good way to know how much you need to give yourself. So iodine, remember that you need selenium. I'm trying to add my words, selenium and iodine and thyroxine all together. That doesn't work. You need selenium and you need iodine to convert into thyroxine. So make sure you're getting selenium every day. You can either eat 3 to 5 large Brazil nuts every day to get your RDA, your recommended daily allowance of selenium, or you can take selenium supplement. Selenium is wonderful. It also recycles your antioxidants. Usually antioxidants are in and out, but with selenium, antioxidants can stay a little longer and be used again a few times, so it helps basically recycle your antioxidants, so you get a little bit more use of your antioxidants. So selenium, iodine, and that's helpful for converting into thyroxine. I've met many women who don't have a thyroid and aren't on medication, and I've met them throughout my travels, and they manage well. They watch what they eat, they pay attention to their bodies, they don't go to the doctor. I'm just telling you all their commonalities. They do the selenium and they do the iodine, and they use wild yam cream. And you know, one thing that I've been researching, because you know the synthetic pharmaceutical, help me out guys, what's the name of the drug that they use? Levothyroxine? It's made from L-tyrosine, which is an amino acid. Now it's synthetic, obviously. A lot of their stuff that they make this medication on is synthetic. So I did some digging, and one of the things it's using is an amino acid called L-tyrosine. Is that what I said? L-tyrosine. And that was a common factor in the medication. They also add food dye. They have some terrible, nasty, gnarly synthetic ingredients in that as well. Carcinogenic to your health is also in that. So that's something I would also consider taking, just from researching and what I've been reading about. It's an essential amino acid. Also, even maybe looking into a complete amino acid powder or a complex to take. We need them to help our DNA and to help heal and to keep our self healthy. So that's a little bit about that. Now, Mallory, she's one of our subscribers, was asking about her ferritin and her iron. Now, I know you gave me a lot of numbers. I'm not a reader of numbers, so I'm sorry. That doesn't mean anything to me. But I can tell you if your iron is too high or if it's too low, or what you should do, in my opinion, naturally, to look into assisting your blood. The first thing when people are anemic is to look at what's your hydrochloric acid intake like, or what's your hydrochloric acid status like. Do you have weak stomach acid? How do you know that? You're bloated after a meal, you're anemic, you have a lot of acid reflux, you burp a lot after a meal. Like, these are some things to be aware of if you don't have very strong hydrochloric acid. Even not going to the bathroom regularly, being constipated. These are some things you want to look at, and you want to strengthen your hydrochloric acid. There's a few ways you can do that. Especially it's helpful for iron, because you need strong hydrochloric acid to break iron out of the food and help bind it in the body and absorb it in the body. And also vitamin C along with it too, to help the iron absorption. Make sure your vitamin C is not ascorbic acid. That's like an empty package. You want the complete vitamin C, and that is your bioflavonoids, your I like the brand Pure Synergy. They have a really great vitamin C powder, which we have at the store and we have in capsules. And we make our vitamin C bombs with them, our health bombs, our healthy bombs with them. In fact, if you're coming to Meeker Florist tomorrow, we have a pop-up there tomorrow, and I'm going to be doing free samples there of the vitamin C bombs, and also some handouts and things, and some samples of our tinctures for people who might have some ailments, and people can ask questions. But getting back on point, I really do like that vitamin C from them. It's you can kind of just gauge how much you want to give yourself. You can't really overdo vitamin C. Your body will tell you if you start to get diarrhea. So yeah, you can overdo it in that way. It's a water soluble vitamin, so hello. And it's not something it's something we have to eat and we have to take. vitamin C. So vitamin C helps with iron. Having strong hydrochloric acid helps. You want to make sure you're not drinking with your meals because that waters down your hydrochloric acid. You want to make sure you can also strengthen your hydrochloric acid by taking lemon water every day, a little bit of lemon water. I don't recommend apple cider vinegar because you want your stomach to be acidic. You don't want it to be alkaline. So I don't recommend taking apple cider vinegar. Also, it turns into something called acetaldehyde, and you can read about that. There's a Dr. Thomas, I think he wrote an article on apple cider vinegar acetaldehyde, turning into acetaldehyde. So check that out if you want more information on the dangers of taking apple cider vinegar as a supplement, basically. There's nothing wrong with cleaning with it, maybe having a little bit here and there, but I wouldn't take it purposely every day. Okay, so what else? Oh, did I tell you about the cayenne pepper? I did talk to you guys about cayenne pepper earlier. So cayenne pepper will help strengthen the hydrochloric acid. Lemon water helps strengthen it. And taking digest tea. Digest tea we have available on our website, OKBHealthy.com. And you can drink this before each meal to help digest your meal, but also to help strengthen your hydrochloric acid. This is very helpful for anyone who is battling anemia. Make sure you're hydrated. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Water is necessary for everything, every function in the body. So make sure you're staying hydrated so that the body can make these enzymes. The body can make this hydrochloric acid. The stomach can make all these things. The stomach makes these things, and the stomach lining and all these enzymes need time to refill. So that's a little bit on iron and thyroid. So does anybody have any questions on the thyroid or the hydrochloric acid like I just was talking about? Let me go all the way down. Wow. Yeah, so Tabitha says, recap for the thyroid: iodine, selenium, wild yam cream, L-tyrosine, cayenne pepper, and castor oil compress. Yes, that sounds good to me. So you'll just need to know which one you're dealing with and what to use. Yep. Remember SIT, selenium, iodine, thyroxine, SIT. Selenium, iodine, thyroxine. You need selenium to convert iodine into thyroxine, and you need to make sure that nothing's imbalancing your hormones like wild yam cream. So remember, high estrogen opposes your thyroid function. And also mercury. I wanted to talk about mercury. Mercury gobbles up selenium. So if you have amalgam fillings, if you have mercury fillings, if you have any mercury in the body, think about getting that out by a biological dentist. Even breast implants can contain a lot of heavy metals, a lot of chemicals, a lot of things that do not need to be in your body. So get those out, in my opinion. Obviously, do what you think is best for you, but they are actually causing people to be very sick. I was one of them as far as breast implant illness goes. I call myself a survivor, that's for sure, because I felt like dying many days with breast implants. But all is well now because God made our body to heal. I'm so thankful. And he overlooks our stupidity. He does it best. I don't know why we try to mess with the best, but hey, he's always there for us and forgiving of what we do. Okay, so that's a little bit on the thyroid. Okay, Charlene says, hi, just joining the live, welcome. Can wild yam cream be used on an almost 11-year-old girl? Yes, depending on what her symptoms are. For example, extremely moody, sleeping a lot, lots of acne, developing too soon, getting a period too soon. These are some things you could consider getting your young woman, your young child, almost a young lady, also a young lady, on if necessary, if needed. But I wouldn't just put your kids on things for no reason. There needs to be kind of a little bit of a reason that you would do that. And it's pretty safe 9 to 90. But at an 11-year-old, then yes, they apply it the same way, 3 weeks on, 1 week off. So if she's not having a period yet, then, and she probably won't have one for a while if you start the cream, or if it balances it, who knows what the body will do. But 3 weeks on, 1 week off. And that 1 week off can be any week you choose it to be, since she is in a period. But, if you do it too with her, then she could just be on your schedule to make it easy, mark a calendar, apply it twice. I used it on one of my sons because he started developing breast tissue, which I was on birth control prior to having children when I was a teenager. And so I think I contributed that to that. But it quickly resolved itself. You know, so many young boys are so embarrassed about that, but it's just hormonal imbalance. And it resolved itself within 3 months. I think it was completely gone. So, hey, you know, you don't have to do surgery. You don't have to be embarrassed. You don't have to do any of that unnecessary thing. No medications, no steroids, nothing like that. Just balance the hormones. Any questions, guys, on anything we have already talked about? Okay, let me go back and see if I see any more. Okay, awesome. You guys are great helping me tell everybody what to do. Tabitha said, I put the iodine in my water 4 drops. No. You don't ever want to take iodine internally. Always take iodine transdermally. So 1 drop transdermally onto the skin. Obviously, you can't put the iodine that's meant to go in the body. If you want to take it, it's fine. But the best way to do it is actually transdermally, so the body can deliver it slowly through the skin. And if you live near the coast, a lot of people near the coast, near the ocean, don't have thyroid imbalances because they're so close to the ocean, because there's natural iodine coming off the ocean waves from the seaweed. It's beautiful. But we don't live near the ocean in Oklahoma. We are not near the ocean at all here. Let's see. Someone asked the best way to get off of thyroid medication. Well, I personally have not had to deal with it. I don't have any issues with my thyroid, but I'm never going to check. I don't care. I'm just going to see how I feel every day and go from there with natural remedies. And I should say, you know, I should never be absolute, right? Never say never. But as much as I can, I could care less. I know when I wake up, I need to feel motivated. Am I drinking water? Am I eating my salt? Am I eating well? Am I exercising? How do I feel? I feel great. My toe's acting up. What's going on with my toe? I better get on the hydrotherapy. I better wrap it. Always pay attention to your body when it's whispering. Always pay attention when it's something very small. You don't want that small to get really big and out of control. That's why it's so important, parents, to get on top of things when your kids are little. When they're little, it's a breeze, helping them with their healing and maybe weight loss or whatever it might be when they're little. They don't need to know what you're doing. Hey, you're a little inflamed. We need to get some weight off you. No. You just start making the changes for them, and then it just becomes easy for them. You don't have to make it a big thing or a big deal. Okay. So I haven't personally had to get off of it, but I've met women that just said, no, I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it. Some that have been on it a long time went off it slowly and watched their body and kind of adjusted with the body as the body needed. Definitely go over it with your doctor. If you want to do that, guess what? It's your body. You can do what you want to do. I can't tell you to get off your medication. I can't do that. But I can say, listen, it's your body. Talk to God. Make the changes that you need to do, and then evaluate it. Do I really need this? Am I starting to feel better? Maybe I can ease off a little bit. Oh, I need to adjust. You can make wise decisions when it comes to your body and how you want your body to heal. Okay, it's your choice. But I've met so many women who aren't on it and who were on the medication. They aren't on it anymore, and they just. One lady, Barbara tells a story of a lady that she met, and they took out her thyroid. And then Barbara says, so I guess you're on levothyroxine the rest of your life. She's like, oh no. She's like, why not? She's like, well, I wasn't going back to the doctor. He took out my thyroid. Oh, I was not happy. And she's fine. I mean, she just lives a normal life. No medicine, just doing her thing. But she did appear to be very healthy. So I think she takes care of herself. I wasn't there, but from the story I heard. Somebody said, Susan said, very good information. Where's your store? We have a store in Shawnee, Oklahoma. It is on Kickapoo Avenue in Shawnee, Oklahoma. We actually have 3 stores on that strip now. We have one that's our general store where people can come in and shop, talk to me, talk to Janine, talk to the boys, get things, look around. It's also a gift shop, health food. We're going back to lunches soon, hopefully by the beginning of the year. And then we have another store where I do my classes. That's where I'm talking to you from right now. And our online shop where we ship things online all over the world. We also ship wholesale now, which is so super exciting. So thank you everyone for your support in that. And our 3rd building, we just need more space. So we are actually expanding because we need more space for a consultation room, and I'd like to do a poultice room where I can do poultices for people, hands-on poultices and teach them for their ailments, more education on how to do this for themselves. So just whatever God's putting on my heart to do. But yeah, you can come see us in our store. I do live classes once a month. So maybe if you're traveling through, come for a class. You can find everything on OKBHealthy.com. Faith says how to address adrenal fatigue. This will be our last question. How to address adrenal fatigue? Well, number one is ask yourself, am I giving my body all the right conditions? For example, drinking coffee is number one reason why people have adrenal fatigue. So if you are drinking caffeine, stop. If you're drinking coffee, stop. If you're drinking caffeinated tea, stop. If you're taking caffeinated supplements, stop. Don't stop if you have something important you need to do today or tomorrow or this week, because it does put you in a little bit of a daze getting off of it. That's how much you'll know it's a drug, because it really affects you detoxing off of it. Caffeine is a highly addictive drug. It's very dangerous. So number one, if you're on caffeine, stop. Number two, are you drinking enough water? Are you supporting your whole body? Your adrenal system is part of the hormonal system, so I would definitely suggest balancing your hormones with our whipped wild yam cream. If it's just for your adrenal balancing, I would consider just doing the regular. We have a regular that's unscented, and then we have a regular that's infused with geranium essential oil, which is also good for hormones. So you could try also balancing your hormones. Licorice is really good for the adrenal system. But if you have high blood pressure, it's not good for you. Although if you have low blood pressure, you may want to consider licorice. See how you can play with that. So that's something you can do. Avoid stress, obviously. Get good sleep. Make sure you're sleeping well. That's where I would start as far as the adrenal system goes. But all right, folks, that is all the time I have for today. Okay, so this is from Donna. She said, yes, I stopped slowly over months. So she stopped, I'm assuming, levothyroxine. Are we talking about the thyroid medication or a medication for the thyroid? Over months as I increased natural things, Brazil nuts, wild yam cream. The medical community will tell you it's a lifetime med. I was told I was borderline hyperthyroid. So Donna, if you can, so you're not on the medication anymore at all. Is that right? You're just doing natural remedies and you're finding you're okay. So, you guys can interact with each other and talk with each other. Maybe she's someone you can talk to personally that knows on the level of not going that route. Mallory said, what was the name of the vitamin C? Pure Synergy. PURESYNERGY. I like their powder or their capsules. The powder is what we use in our vitamin C balm recipe. You can find that recipe online as well at OKBHealthy.com. We have a little recipe category, so you can check out our recipes there. Okay, Charlene, I've ordered from your store several times and I'm super happy with all the purchases. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We couldn't be here without you. I couldn't be sitting here doing these Q&As without you supporting us. So I'm very thankful to be able to do God's work. Giving him all the glory. It's just a really wonderful passion of mine and my family's is to just really encourage people to see how God made their body to be. A lot of us are living in bodies we don't even know the full potential of. We haven't seen our body at its prime because we've maybe always been under the system of the food, the system of the, just the everyday medical grind. And so it's neat when you start to say, hey, this is how actually God sees you, and this is the healing that you can get from doing the things that he made for your body the way he made it. It's really cool. It's really cool to see people just transform. Their bodies just transform. They're just different people when they start to take care of themselves and eat well and pray and go to the Lord, and it's really cool. All right, one more question. Marie says, how much water is recommended to stay well hydrated? Ideally, 64 ounces of water a day is ideal. Now, obviously, if you're a little kid, that's too much water for you. Half your body weight is also a great estimate. Unless you are like 600 pounds, that's not healthy to drink that much water a day in ounces. So I would say start at 64, common sense wise, if that makes sense for you as an average adult. I'm about 6'7", 6'1", 100 and I'm not gonna lie, 130 pounds. I won't lie to you. And I drink about 64 ounces of water a day. So that's my go-to. It's my favorite. I try for 70, but you feel good when you drink water and you stay hydrated. Your skin shows it, your hair shows it, your health shows it, your countenance shows it. And so definitely stay hydrated. Make sure you eat a little pinch of salt before every glass of water. Okay, folks? So once again, I will be at Meeker's Florist tomorrow in Meeker, Oklahoma from 11 to 1 with Leslie, and she has a wonderful company called Grace and Grit, and we're going to have just a fun time hanging out, meeting people, photo ops, handing out handouts, talking about natural remedies for health and healing during the cold flu season. If you want to join our subscribers page for more information, you can do that. That link is at the top of this page, our subscriber page, our VIPs, very important PAL subscribers. You can join our group there. Every month I've been doing a live class here at the Prepare for Healing building in Shawnee, and that goes live and complimentary to our subscribers. So if you are a subscriber and you are eligible for those free classes every month. So check that out if it's something you're interested in. Obviously, and you also get a lot of great content here too. So don't worry, if this is what you want to do, that's great. But if you want a little more, subscribers is there. So Meeker, tomorrow, our class this month here is going to be on immune system to the max. So we're going to be talking about natural remedies, ways to assist our natural immune system defense that we already have through the many ways God gave it to work optimally. So we're going to support that. Natural remedies, natural herbs, natural supplements, and whatever else comes to mind. So it's a good time. It's a 45-minute class, 15-minute Q&A, and then shopping afterwards for those who want to. Okay, so hope you're doing well. Have a great week, guys. Friday is our another Q&A Friday. Look for the post tomorrow if there's more questions you want. Subscribers, if I didn't answer one of your questions, don't worry. You can ask the question today. I'm going to go make a post right now. So if I missed one of your questions, I apologize, but I will answer them on the subscriber page, okay? I'll see you guys Friday. Take care. Have a great day. Today is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. Okay, bye-bye.